All right, check this out. Have you ever wished you had a superpower? I'm not talking flying or turning invisible, but a secret power for your brain. One that could help you invent incredible things and solve problems that seem totally impossible. Well, today we're going to unlock exactly that. But first, let me ask you something. Why do we do the things we do? Like why do we raise our hand in class? Why is the school day set up the way it is? We follow thousands of rules every single day, but have you ever just stopped and asked, wait, where did this rule even come from? Because here's the surprising truth. Most of what we think we know about the world is really just an idea that somebody else came up with a long, long time ago. We're kind of living in a world full of what you could call borrowed beliefs, ideas we just accept without ever really thinking about them for ourselves. So this leads to two totally different ways of looking at the world. You can be a copycat or you can be a builder. Let's break down what that means. It really all comes down to your approach. The copycat, well, they follow the map that someone else already drew. They use the old instructions and just accept that this is how things are. But the builder? Oh, the builder starts from scratch. They draw a brand new map. They invent something totally new, and they're always asking, what could this be? And that is the superpower we're talking about today. It's called first principles thinking, and it's basically the art of wiping the slate clean, clearing away all those old, borrowed ideas to find the simple, unbreakable truths hiding underneath. We call these bedrock truths. Think of them like the absolute most basic Lego bricks of an idea. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? A builder isn't afraid to smash old ideas. You demolish those borrowed beliefs so you can build something new and amazing, right from the bedrock up. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's dive into two incredible stories. One about a company that totally forgot how to build, and another about a guy who built something everyone, and I mean everyone, thought was impossible. First up, let's talk about Kodak. For 100 years, these guys were the absolute kings of photography. If you took a picture, you were probably using a Kodak camera and Kodak film. They were the ultimate copycats of their own success. And here's the craziest part. Way back in 1975, an engineer at Kodak invented the world's very first digital camera. But his bosses got scared and told him to hide it. Even in the 90s, they were still on top, selling almost all the film in the world. They were so stuck on their old idea that pictures needed film, they couldn't see the future they had literally invented. And by 2012, it was game over. So what was the damage? By sticking to that old map, Kodak watched their entire company, worth $28 billion, just crumble to dust, all because they forgot how to be builders. Okay, now let's flip the script and look at the complete opposite. A story about the ultimate builder, Elon Musk and his company, SpaceX. So back around 2002, Musk wanted to send a rocket to Mars. But everywhere he looked, people told him it would cost $1 billion. He didn't just accept that. Instead, he asked a really simple first principles question. What is a rocket actually made of? And what he found out was mind-blowing. The raw materials to build a rocket, the metal, the fuel, that was only about 2% of the final price tag. The other 98%? That was just the cost of doing things the old, inefficient way. The whole rockets have to be expensive thing was just a borrowed belief. So Musk decided to just toss out the old instruction book. He started SpaceX in 2002 to build rockets from the bedrock up. And yeah, it wasn't easy. They had a few explosive failures, but in 2008, they had their first successful launch. And then in 2015, he did something nobody in the entire history of space travel had ever done. He landed a rocket back on Earth so it could be used again. By demolishing that old idea that rockets are one and done, SpaceX slashed the cost of going to space by 85%. He didn't just follow the map to space, he drew a completely new one. But here's the really cool part. This superpower isn't just for billionaires building rockets. You can use it too, for anything. So let's get your toolkit ready. It's a pretty simple 4-step guide. First, question everything. Ask yourself, what am I just assuming is true here? Second, dig deeper. Ask why over and over again. Third, find the bedrock, that one simple, unbreakable truth at the very bottom. And finally, number 4, build a brand new idea starting from only that truth. Okay, you ready to test out your new superpower? It's game time. I'm going to give you a statement, and you decide, is it a bedrock truth or just a borrowed idea? Ready? Here we go. You need a stove to cook an egg. Think about it for a second. Is that an unbreakable law of the universe? Or is it just, the way it's usually done? It is a borrowed idea. The stove is just one tool, right? The bedrock truth is you just need enough heat to change the protein in the egg. Once you know that, you can get super creative. You could cook it on a hot sidewalk in the summer, on a hot car engine. The stove is the old map. Heat is the bedrock.
See? You're already getting it. You're thinking like a builder. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with this power?
You can use this for anything. Instead of just memorizing facts for a history test, ask, what was the bedrock problem those people were trying to solve? Instead of just playing a game, by the rules, maybe you invent a new one with a better goal. You can use this to solve problems, totally ace a project, or just see the whole world in a brand new way. So the next time you hear someone say, well, that's just how it's done, I want you to remember to ask why. Demolish those borrowed beliefs and find the bedrock. Because the world isn't finished yet. It's waiting for your idea. So what will you build from the ground up?